What up, Puck Squad? Coming at you with an amazing episode today. I gave Mark, you guys all know Mark, he's been in like 30 episodes of mine, gave him permission to film it in the bag, and I was gonna upload it on my channel, and he killed it. He put together a great in the bag. It's awesome. I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, drop a like, throw us a comment, because I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that were curious on what he throws. He's always in my episodes, but I don't put other people's discs on the bottom overlay, typically because I don't know what they are, but I'm sure this will help out some of you guys who are curious, so hope you guys enjoy.
What's up, everybody? I'm Marc Deblasio, PDGA number 91719. This is my 2019 in the bag. So, let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with my putters. I'll first start with my putting putters. I have honestly always used, I shouldn't say that, I used to use the McPro AVRs, but I realized that the McPro AVRs are a little too deep, and McPro AVRs are obviously no longer a thing, RIP. So my go-to putting putter is the classic grid AVR. This orange baby, if anyone plays with me at all, I've been using this orange putter for over a year now. It's finally, I think I'm ready to retire it to possibly a throwing putter. But my new go-to putter for the upcoming season, or until further notice, is this nice yellow and blue grid stamp AVR. This thing, I just love the feel of DX plastic in my hand when it comes to putting. Even in the cold weather, here in New England, we get a lot of that, at least through like November to March. So some people say DX plastic gets too stiff in the cold. I really just fight through it. I really don't want to be able to, or have to change putters midway through the year or in the winter. Just because of the plastic. It's actually works out great for me. So yeah, my go-to putting putter is the DX AVR grid stamp. I also absolutely just love the AVR mold, and this year, or in 2018, they came out with the AVR 3, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love throwing putters off the tee pad. Anywhere between maybe like 250 to 275 feet. And these AVR 3s, I have one DX and one star. This pink DX one is super stable for a DX disc. If I throw it on some hyzer, it'll pop up to flat, but it actually has quite a dependable fade at the end, depending on how hard you throw it. If you throw it super hard, it's obviously going to turn over and just hold that line. It is a DX line disc, and it is a putter, so it's really not going to fade too hard if you do throw it at max power. And then my S line, or my Star AVR 3, both 175, by the way, is a little more stable than the DX one. This is a great disc, again, to just kind of, I don't want to say bomb off the tee pad, but I can throw this putter, I don't know, anywhere between 250 to 275. Whenever I can throw a putter off of a tee pad, I do. I just feel like I have a lot of control with my putters off of a tee pad. And just in general, if I have to throw it on a fairway or what have you. So I also bag a R Pro Rhino. I used to treat this as a harp. When I first got it, it was kind of stable. Actually pretty stable for a putter. But now I use the R Pro Rhino. It's wicked beaten right now. I've had this in my bag for well over a year, and it's the perfect disc for long jump putts, whether it's just on the edge of circle 2 or between like 75 to 100 feet. And this R Pro Rhino, even though it's over a year old and even though it's super beat, it still has a dependable fade at the end, and I absolutely love that, especially when it comes to jump putting. So I do throw mostly Innova. However, I do have 3 molds in my bag that have been in my bag for a while now that are not Innova. I will get to one of those right now. I bag 3 harps. I bag 2 medium harps and 1 VIP harp. The medium harps are great for upshots. This is my beat one. This is my newer one. The only difference in them is the stability. Same weights, max weight. Most of my discs in my bag are max weight, except for a few distance drivers, but we'll get there later. My medium harp that's more beat is kind of great to put it on a hyzer, and this disc is beat enough that it will flip up to flat and turn over a little bit, but still fade at the end. Again, I love this disc for upshots. If I think there's a little bit of a headwind, or if I need a little harder fade, I will use my newer harp. This is, again, a medium harp. It is super flat, super stable for a 4-speed disc, and just really dependable for upshots. The third harp I have in my bag is a VIP Glo Harp. Again, this is max weight. One of my teammates, Kyle, gave this to me well over a year ago, and it hasn't left my bag since. I absolutely love this harp off of T-pads, or whenever I have an upshot that's maybe like 275 to 300-ish, maybe into a headwind, just something I can really kind of get behind and torque on and really just know that it'll come back to the basket for me. Another one of those discs where I like to hang out to the right and just have it crash to the basket. Super reliable, super dependable. Don't see this coming out of my bag anytime soon. So next I'm going to go into my mid-ranges, and wow, I clearly haven't cleaned my discs in a while because there's dirt all over my Justice. Love that. But I do bag 3 mid-ranges. Whenever I need maybe a little more distance than either my harps or my putters can get. I just like the size of a mid-range. I love how the mid-range molds feel in my hand. All 3 mid-ranges I bag, I'm gonna just call them champion plastic. I'm not sure what the dynamic, it says it right on here. My Justice is lucid plastic. So I guess I'll start with this one. This is my pink max weight Justice. It is absolutely filthy right now. I don't know where I played last, but it obviously was muddy. But yeah, this pink Justice, put it in my bag fairly recently, maybe last summer, which I guess is recent for me. I just had so many friends throwing Justices, and I just wanted to get one. And then one day I just pulled the trigger. $20 purchase, yeah, nice. But yeah, I finally put one in my bag. I don't use it too much, but it's more of a utility disc for me. It's really nice to have a disc that is slow speed with a 4 fade. When the fade is 1 number lower than the speed of the disc, in this case 4 fade, 5 speed, 0 glide, or I think it's 1 glide, but essentially 0 glide. Sorry, I'm picking up dirt that's falling off of this disc. I need to clean it. But yeah, the Justice is absolutely awesome. Super great for headwinds, just a super beefy mid-range. I'm gonna jump onto the third and final mold of my bag that isn't Innova, which is also a mid. So I never really threw mid-ranges in rounds up until maybe a couple months ago. And I put this back in my bag, and it's just a super flat profile Discmania MD4 max weight, just a beautiful mid-range. It's really great to do whatever you want with. Mostly I will throw it on a hyzer and just let it kind of hold. It might pop up to flat a little bit depending on how hard I throw it, but just really reliable, super straight disc. Don't really throw it off the tee too much, but on a fairway, if I need like 300 feet or so to get to the pin, maybe a little bit of a headwind, just a straight shot, I'm having this in my hand and I'm relying on it and I'm trusting it to do exactly what I want it to. Third mid-range I bag, going back to Innova, is a red max weight Champion Rock 3. This started off as kind of a stable disc. right now it's really not that stable at all. It's been in my bag for almost well over a year now. This is what I consider my flippy mid-range. I really never throw my mid-ranges on Annie, or I never throw them flat. I'm either throwing everything, at least my mid-ranges, on hyzer, so that in this case, with the rock, it'll jump up, get the flat, turn over, and hold the line that I'm looking for. So yeah, those are my mid-ranges. 3 super dependable discs. Now I'm gonna jump right into my fairways. We're gonna start with my yellow max weight Leopard 3. One of the locals that I play with, who moved down here recently from Michigan, Shane Wyatt, awesome dude, really, really talented player. Maybe like 980 rated, 990. Yeah, moved down here last summer or something. He gave me a Leopard 3 that I had since lost, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I was devastated when I lost it because it was doing exactly what I wanted it to. It was beat in perfectly. But the second I lost it, I went online, I got a new one. Again, this is a max weight Leopard 3 Star Plastic. Just a really, really straight disc. Probably the straightest disc I have in my bag right now out of the box. If you buy this brand new, it's gonna be straight. If you throw it max, no, maybe not max, but like 75 to 80% on a little bit of hyzer, it's gonna just pop up, maybe turn over a bit, but then end right back where you want it. Really straight, really dependable fairway driver. Throw it off the tee a bunch, throw it on the fairway a bunch. Just, I'm not really playing around and not having this disc come out of my bag at some point. Super dependable, love the Leopard 3. Great mold. My next fairway is again, max weight, Champion Metal Flake T-Bird. Just a really straight fairway. Again, it's not as flippy as the Leopard 3, probably because of the Metal Flake, whatever the hell Metal Flake is. Yeah, we're gonna put glitter in your disc and it's gonna make it more stable. Whatever, it works, I love it. Not complaining. But yeah, just another fairway where, again, I'm not throwing my fairways flat ever. Never really throwing them on Annie either. Just another mold where I'm throwing it on some hyzer, hoping it pops up to flat. It usually does. T-Birds are great straight discs, again, right out of the box. I'm throwing it off the tee a lot. If I need a tee shot that's like 325, 350, straight, maybe with a little fade at the end, because again, it is Metal Flake. It does have that reliable fade that I'm looking for in most of my discs. But yeah, T-Bird, Metal Flake, max weight, great, great disc. So now we're gonna move on to 2 discs in my bag that are really workhorses for my game. First, we're gonna go with my my max weight Metal Flake Thunderbird. This disc started out super stable. It's got a sweet Borderland disc golf stamp on it. Shout out to Borderland in Easton, Mass. Yeah, I forget where I got this disc, but like I said, I got it brand new. It started off super stable. This was a disc where I was throwing flat, almost treating it like a high-speed driver, where I could pull on it a bunch, throw it flat, let it kind of force an Annie, and then fade at the end, getting between like 350 to 360 on it. Now that it's been in my bag for, I don't know, maybe 6 to 7 months, it's gotten beat in, and it's almost becoming like a faster T-Bird for me. I'll throw this at max power, and it'll flip up to flat. It'll hold, turn over a bit, and then just dump at the end. Super reliable, awesome disc, feels great in the hand, pretty thin rim. It is a fairway, I believe. I'm not too sure where fairways ends and drivers begin, but regardless, Thunderbird, Metal Flake, max weight, super reliable. This comes out of my bag so many times during a round. For anyone that knows me and plays with me, I am a right-hand, backhand dominant player, but I'm a natural lefty. Everything in life I do is left-handed except throwing discs. So when it comes to a righty flick, I just don't have any power with my right hand when it comes to a flick. I'm not sure what it is. I've practiced, I've tried to force it into my game, but I can really throw a right hand flick. I'm not even kidding, maybe 100 feet. So that being said, the Star Sidewinder max weight is just an absolute beautiful disc, especially for people in my situation. This disc, again, a workhorse for me. Any basket or location of a spot where I'm trying to get this disc to land that's right of where I'm looking, I am going to this disc. All I need to do is put it on a little bit of hyzer and then kind of figure out at how much speed and how much power I need to throw it at. So if the basket is finishing way right, I'll throw this at 100%. It'll pop up and it'll just hold a turn all the way to the right, hopefully all the way to the basket. It's basically my version of a flick disc. So getting into my Firebirds. I bagged two of them. I bagged a 2017 Sexton Firebird Tour Series 175, and I bagged just a regular Star Plastic Firebird. When I first got this disc, I just loved the stamp. I loved supporting one of my favorite pros. I was throwing it a bunch, and it really beat into where I wasn't getting the fade I wanted on it. So believe it or not, it has become a roller disc for me. And like I said previously, I'm a natural lefty. It's weird when I'm playing with someone who doesn't really know me that well, and I'll like be throwing right hand, backhand the whole time, and I'll pull out this disc and throw a left hand roller and just kind of like leave them looking at me like, what did you just do? You just used your left hand. But yeah, if I ever need to lay down a roller, mostly if I'm laying down a roller, I'm scrambling. Especially a forehand roller. This is essentially in my bag to be a forehand roller disc at this point. And it works whenever I need it to, for the most part. So that's my Sexton Firebird. My Star Firebird is an absolute beefcake. This is one of the, if not the most stable disc in my bag. It's just a Star Firebird, not a Sexton one, 175. It's been in my bag for maybe 6 months now. This disc is not finishing right. This disc is always finishing left for me. Super dependable, super just reliable in any type of headwind. I throw this off the tee a lot if I'm looking for a shot to obviously finish left for me. Again, at like 360, 375-ish. Because it's so stable, the glide just really isn't there. It's super flat. I just love this disc. I use it a lot for, again, like I said, any hole that's finishing hard left or anytime I need a hard fade. This is coming out of my bag. So now I'm gonna get into my max distance high-speed drivers. I've only been playing for about 2 years now, coming up on year 3, and it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to put in my bag for a max distance driver, and I finally, about, I don't know, 8 months ago, I've settled on 2 molds. I bag destroyers and I bag turns. For anyone that plays with me often, whenever I need to smash on a drive, they know a turn's coming out or a destroyer's coming out. So I'm gonna first get into my turns, and then I'll get to my babies, my destroyers. So I bag 3 turns right now. I'll start with the least stable. This is my orange turn, one of the first ones I got. It's 175, it's champion plastic. Turns out of the box are flippy. Unless you get like a champion max weight metal flake, that's kind of what I'm after in a turn. I don't like my distance drivers to be too flippy. If I need to manipulate a disc to go either right or however I want it into any type of wind, I think I can manage that. But nice, Mark. But at this point, this orange turn is a huge turnover disc for me. But if I have to get around a corner that's a super hard right turn, I'm gonna just mash on this and put it at a little bit of an ante, and just let it glide to where I want it to go. As I said, it's a little unstable out of the box, but at this point it's kind of super unstable, even though it's max weight champ plastic. I'm dying here. My first in the bag is killing me. But yeah, again, if there's an uphill shot or an uphill tee shot that has a little bit of elevation and I need something a little flippy, I'll pull this one out. As I said, it's my most understable turn, and I'll just let it do exactly what it's made to do. It flips up to flat, it'll turn over, and then if it's uphill, it will fade back. If it's downhill or if it's flat, I can really get this thing to kind of just flip up and then turn and just hold that turnover line. It's great to have a tool like this in your bag. Absolutely love this disc. My second turn I bag is a Luster max weight turn. I got this in a raffle, I believe. The stamp on it, it's a Borderland stamp. It's a super flat disc for a turn. This disc is amazing. It's just so flat, and for a turn, it's surprisingly so stable. I absolutely love this disc. Even if there's like a tiny bit of headwind, I can still pop this up. It won't turn over too much, but it'll still crash and fade left. I love it for shots anywhere between 390 to 410-ish. I'm confident to say that my max distance is hovering right around 420, 435 right now, which I'm super comfortable with, especially since I've been battling some elbow injuries, but that's besides the point. But yeah, this Luster Metal Flake Champion turn has been in my bag for about 6 months. Don't see it coming out of my bag anytime soon, and I just absolutely love it. Yeah, that's turn number 2. The third turn I have in my bag is again, it's a max weight. It's Champion Glo. It's definitely domier than the Luster turn. This disc is my bomber disc, or one of maybe 2 bomber discs I have in my bag. This is a disc that I can just put on hyzer. I can throw at max speed, max power, and it'll flip up to flat. It'll turn a little bit, but it has the dependability of a destroyer, but it has the glide in the turn of a turn. It's absolutely amazing. I put this in my bag this summer, or last summer I should say, and again, just super reliable disc. The Champion Glo makes it a little more stable than most turns, especially right out of the box. It's still in very good condition. I don't see this coming out of my bag anytime soon. So yeah, those are the 3 turns I bag. And now on to my pride and joy. I absolutely love destroyers. Right now I bag 5. I absolutely love this mold. People ask me what my favorite mold is, what my favorite disc is. It's a destroyer, hands down. We're gonna start with my least stable one first. This is my 171 green Macbeth 4-time destroyer. Most time destroyers are 4-time destroyers, just because of the stability. I love the way they feel in the hand. The star plastic just feels amazing all year long, in the winter and the summer. But this 171 S-Line destroyer is just really a bomber disc. It's been beat in. It's been in my bag for well over a year now. Probably coming up on 2 years. One of the first destroyers I got. Obviously, when out of the box, it's just super stable, but right now it's actually flippier than most of the turns I bag. I can really throw this on a lot of hyzer at full power. It'll flip up, it'll turn, but it still has the stability of a destroyer in the end, and it's just absolutely amazing. The next destroyer I bag is the first destroyer I got. When I was a rookie and a noob, obviously I still am, I'm 3 years in, I think I'm way more skilled than I was 3 years ago, but this was the first destroyer I ever got. I had no idea what I was doing with it. I was throwing this thing like literally like that and just having it flex out maybe like 250 feet. But this thing is still in amazing condition. The stamp is obviously off of it. This is a 4-time Macbeth destroyer. It's 168, and it's not as flippy as my green one, but it's definitely flippy. It'll flip up, it'll turn, but it'll again always come back at the end because it's a destroyer and it's the best disc ever made. These are my 2 most stable destroyers. They're my newest ones. They've been in my bag for maybe 6 months now. I really switch between them depending on headwind. My blue one is more stable than my pink one. They're both 175. They're both star plastic. They are both 4-time Macbeth destroyers. And they're just super stable. That's about all I can say about them. These 2 destroyers are just, again, absolute workhorses. I throw these off the tee more than I throw any other disc off the tee. I throw these flat, maybe with a little bit of ante on them, and just get them to turn a bit, or a lot, depending on how hard you throw it. But again, they're Maxway Star Plastic 4-time destroyers. They're gonna fade and they're gonna be predictable, and you can trust these discs. Just again, beautiful mold, super trustworthy disc, easily the favorites in my bag. Pinky and blue, my boys, nice. The last destroyer I bag is, it's not a 4-time Macbeth, it's just an S-line or star plastic max weight. It's in between stabilities of my green and yellow one and my blue and pink one. It's got a Clown Infinite Halloween stamp on it. It's a super stable disc. It's not as stable as my other ones. Honestly, I keep this in my bag for shots that might be over water. If that makes any sense. I feel like we all have one of these discs in our bag. Also, I always have a fresh set of destroyers on hand. These are 6 of them. I have, in total, I think I have 15 brand new 4-time destroyers ready to go in my bag whenever I need them. Just in case, you know, you can't have too many. They're just so friggin' beautiful, I can't get over it. But yeah, I love destroyers. So yeah, that's it guys. Super excited to see what 2019 has in store for me. I'm currently in the middle of New England Team Challenge season. I play for the Borderland Bombers. Love our team, love what we're doing. We have about 2 months left with that, and then I'm gonna jump right into tournament season, and I'm super excited. It's my first year in the Pro Open division, so I really can't wait to see what the future holds for me and see where my disc golf career goes in 2019. If you're following the Huck Squad is amazing. Noah Cronin is doing amazing things with his vlogs. He's my boy. Love that kid to death, and yeah, see you guys on the flip.